There we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to another Round Ball Australia live watch along. Technically the double tonight with Japan and Saudi Arabia already about 20 minutes in, still 0-0. My name is Lockie Abel, joined by Jacob Stevens, Will Booth and Pauletti tonight. Will's made a mad dash to get home from training for kick-off. You've done well, mate.
Yes, I'm, showered, 2-minute shower and ready to go. So, I'm not smelling up the room. Not that matters for the live stream anyway. But looking at the lineup now, so flick to somebody else first, I'd say.
Go on, Jacob.
I'm
just realising
Barella getting the start.
I haven't actually done the graphics, so we can do this together.
We'll do it live.
Lovely.
We'll do this live.
You get to see the workings of
this is the like kind of lineup from the other day. So what we got Boyle on the right still. This is obviously Barello.
Barello's starting up front. Yeah. Nishan keeps his spot.
And then we got Ryan Teague. What number's Ryan Teague? Quick.
Teague is 17.
17. Debut for him. He's starting. And then Rao's out for Dejanek, right? What's he?
He is number 2.
Number 2. All right, there we go. Lineup's correct. Get these little dodgy. So Ryan Teague, I guess, starting debut for him. Massive. Yeah. Borello probably. I was tipping Duke to start. That's the only kind of surprise. Maybe Milosh coming in. Kai Rouse didn't think he played bad the other day. I don't know.
Good win on the bench again.
Good win on the bench, yes. I guess Boyle didn't really do anything too wrong.
No.
But anyway, there you go. Where are we? I've lost where my actual stream is. Okay, we're doing the lineups. Very nice. Good evening, everybody watching. I hope for some of you we can go some way to replacing your 10-play stream if you don't happen to have the Paramount Plus subscription tonight.
There's so many photographers.
There's so many people here. I think Joey was saying that they're heading towards a sellout, and if they do, it'll be the biggest attendance in a Chinese men's national team game. Full stop.
Sheesh.
Massive stadium as well.
Yeah, really, really cool. Of course. Hello, Clutch. Hello, Dos. Good to have you in. If you don't know where we are in terms, here's another special button for you. I've added in for today. Here's the table as
wow.
Oh no! Hold on. I've accidentally scrolled.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Can't see it. There we go.
Japan's in there. Japan's in there too. But this hopefully should update as we go. Hello, Radical Ideas. Hello, Adam Wayne. Thanks, Channel 10/Paramount for a paywall for watching the game. Look, they're going to make their money somehow. But if you're not going to give it to them, I guess we'll take it. No, I'm kidding. It's free.
Please purchase one of our kits.
Look how good these are on the Ramble website. Matt, hello, but plenty on the line, of course. It's pretty much do or die for China. You can see sitting down there on 6 points. If they were to not get anything out of this game, automatic qualification will certainly be out of the question for them, and they're going to have to try and find their way into the middle 2 spots. But for Australia, really looking to maintain that gap on Saudi Arabia. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in Japan and Saudi Arabia as well, because that's going to be very pivotal to how the final window of this AFC qualifying group shapes up. How are we feeling, Pauletti? It's going to be a tough one. Lots of Chinese fans, of course, in the stadium, as we said.
I mean, I just love how everyone else has been getting a hello as they've come into the chat. You throw to Will, you throw to Jacob, and I've just been sitting here for 5 minutes just twiddling my thumbs.
I said hello to all of you. I went through all your names. I said, well...
You said hello? No, you never came to me. You just said hello. That was it. And it's just like, I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
I don't go through an itemised list of whoever's on.
But look, I mean, it's certainly going to be an intimidating atmosphere for the Socceroos in China. Hopefully they can pull something out here. I mean, you'd absolutely love to see automatic qualification, and you think that if the Socceroos are to do that, 3 points here is just an absolute must. Although they're already being forced back rather early by the Chinese press.
Oh,
so
we started. Oh,
You
damn.
forgot to start the clock,
I
Lockie.
didn't even have the stream of the
Good
game open,
job.
I won't lie to you.
Good job.
We're a
Well
minute
done.
in now.
I'll hold on. I'll get the time. See, here's what I can do though. Clutch, you were saying that you have no idea, Clutch, how long it took me to get 2 clocks working at the same time. By the way,
Lewis Miller's just been absolutely clattered.
absolutely poleaxed. Here we go.
Too early for a yellow there.
Set the clock to 2 minutes.
It's never too early for a yellow.
Set the tone early.
Set the tone.
Yeah.
You know what? We can even go a bit cheekier. We can go like 1:45, and
then just
I'll
wait
be on
for
the
that.
button. Yeah.
In before Australia score and throw that plan out the window.
Yeah, and then like
Heaps
the
of
clock
space there.
disappears, and I can't time
Yeah.
it right.
Well, they're on here.
3, 4, bang! There we go. We're up to date.
I'm interested to see how China approach this, because in the game in Adelaide, it was pretty clear what their game plan was in terms of just playing long balls in behind. That's where Thomas Deng played quite poorly in tracking those runners. And then they obviously scored that goal and immediately set into like a 6 at the back formation and just sat behind the ball for a long period of time. So it'd be interesting to see if they sort of approach the game in a similar fashion, or if they try and do something different, knowing it didn't work the first time.
They're leaving that switch wide open though.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll try and, obviously being at home, they'll try and take something first before setting up if needed. But yeah, like having been in the Sydney game against Indonesia, it was such a tough game to tell if the Socceroos were good or not. I think I was kind of tuning into the live stream, had that in my headphones while I was there. So I heard a little bit of what you guys were saying, but yeah, I don't know if you would kind of agree. Like, it was just hard to tell if we were good. It was a kind of an odd game and a bunch of set piece goals, and it didn't really seem to be clicking or not clicking, really. I think it was a bit hard to see against that team. But yeah, Indonesia looked to play at us, and that played into our hands as well. They definitely didn't set up shop after conceding first, so a different type of test tonight for sure. But yeah, very keen to see Teague as well. I think he's in that squad, he's one of the only true, like, really progressive passers and somebody who can break the lines a bit. Since we've switched to kind of the inside forwards as more wingers traditionally than we've got with McGree out and Hrustic we've had before. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how we kind of look to go forward in that final third for sure.
Well, I think it's interesting that you mentioned Teague getting a start there. I know Popovich said he doesn't like to play mind games and anything like that, but do you think there's just a little bit of a needle there starting Teague in China?
Well, it was always going to be this game over Indonesia, I think, and especially since we got the result there, I think securing that result meant that he could take maybe one gamble like this. I don't think it's a gamble. I think it's identifying, the profiles of the two midfielders we lined up with last week with O'Neill and Irvine, and obviously Popovich has seen something there that he wants more of a ball progressor there. So yeah, like a little bit, but I don't know how closely China would have taken the Socceroos game against Indonesia into account, considering that they kind of play different games as well. So it's hard to read into what they take away from that.
In answer to your question, Paletti, I think Popovich gave absolutely zero thought to it.
I think Will just completely blanked over the actual question I was asking.
I don't know. I'm saying I don't think there was any.
Is that Miller at the far post?
Oh,
Yeah.
I am
Boyle.
3 seconds
Get him
behind.
off. Get Goodwin on.
There's a couple of players had a chance there, but
Goodwin would have finished that.
he would have. First time volley on his left foot.
Thanks to everyone coming in.
Oh,
Good day. Getting ready for a late kickoff. Jeez, it's one of those where you expect the defender to clear it, so you're not like prepping yourself to play the ball.
I think it almost kind of skidded as well. Like, I don't think he expected it to come as quickly off the grass as it did. It kind of looked like
I don't know. I just think, how do you not try to take a touch there? Like, it seemed like he literally only had eyes for hitting it on the half volley once he realised, oh, this has come to me. Like,
Go Boyle.
if he takes a touch there, he
Fine niche.
nice.
Ooh.
Corner,
Start.
nice.
Positive start.
I was gonna say, if he takes a touch there, it's probably 1-0 Socceroos already. Like,
All right, I need someone to be in charge with keeping tabs on the other games because I literally already have way too many tabs open. So I need to delegate that responsibility. I've got notifications.
Yeah, I've got it.
the-
Just get like
I've
the.
got Japan, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, that's cool.
I
He's
was about to
making
say
my-
I was about to pull up Japan, Saudi Arabia, but.
I've got that on. So I've got. Well, these 3 monitors are coming. You know, they were bound to come in handy at one point.
Yeah, I've just made the
in which
switch to
case
3
then I can
monitors as
save
well.
my.
So,
In case I can save my very precious bandwidth that seems to be misbehaving tonight.
So I'm saying, my you guys on the rib side there are a bit pixelated, but that's it's worth it at that point. I don't really want to look over there
The
anyway.
bandwidth is struggling. I know mine's struggling. Apologies, everyone at home. I have a nice 1080p camera scene going here, or source, I should say, but everyone else is coming through the internet, so it's a little bit difficult when you're trying to upload a live stream at the same time, but we'll make do. Good evening, Sam. Good evening, Adam. Good evening, Monique. Hello to you. KFR, my illegal game site, not working, unfortunately. So we'll do the best we can.
surely you've got a backup. Like, if you've got to have a roster of them that you just go
You
through.
gotta cycle through. No, we don't condone that. Pay you $5.
Yeah.
We don't have a VPN partnership yet, so just wait till that comes into the works. And
Well, that would throw out.
So
any
don't
chance
use
of carrying out partnership
ExpressVPN,
as well.
don't use NordVPN, don't use any of these, no
Thanks,
promo codes, no nothing.
no, all we have to say is other VPNs are available.
I can tell you that so far in the 31 minutes of the Japan game, they've held 76% possession.
That's quite a bit.
I
They're
don't think
playing Dyson Mayer,
not
they're
trying.
playing
Uh,
Kubo.
Are we sure it's
Kubo,
not?
yeah.
Are we sure it's not Melbourne City women playing against Saudi Arabia with how much possession they've held? Like that, they held 78% of the ball in their Champions League win on Sunday. Like that's an insane number.
It's crazy. Clutch saying, "Pay your $5, brother." There's literally no way to do that outside Australia. Fair. Where is it being broadcast in the US? I think it's ESPN, right? I think the AFC actually announced today they're extending their ESPN deal for like Asian qualifiers in that region and all the other Asian competitions. Not that you'd know, Clutch.
So earlier today, press release from the AFC. The AFC today announced the extension of its media partnership with ESPN for the 2025 to 28 cycle. ESPN will continue to be the exclusive media partner of the AFC's competitions in South America and Central America, as well as a non-exclusive partner in the Caribbean. Partnership includes the AFC Asian Cup 2027, AFC Asian Qualifiers, AFC Champions League Elite, and AFC Champions League 2, which is set to be broadcast on ESPN platforms, including ESPN on Disney+.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Sam, I don't think, I think it might be a you problem, mate.
Yeah, everyone else seems to be fine.
Everyone else is the audio levels good? I know mine come through just slightly differently to the others.
I can
Clutch.
shout if I need to.
Yeah, Jacob can get loud. Please let us know. We've got about 50 people in here. I feel like there would have been more people click off if they couldn't hear us. We're not playing any music.
Is
or
Sam
anything.
using a VPN?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of the audio. I'm pretty sure none of the audio is coming through. Let me check that. That would be awkward. Yeah, no.
You've
no,
just broadcasted the whole thing
No,
to
none of the broadcast audio is coming through. Can you all hear us? That's what I would love to know. Monique's asking how are we feeling, confident or hopeful? I'm feeling confident.
Yeah.
Feeling confident. Loud and
Especially
clear.
after
Thanks,
after the last game, you know. Like Will was saying, it's a bit difficult to sort of evaluate where the team's at after that one, but I think if you sort of have a game where you're a bit confused as to whether it was good or not, and you still come away 5-1 winners,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a good place to be. And I think with
Yeah.
Popovic, right, we talked about this plenty, he drives such high standards. I think it's always going to feel like that. Can somebody put on reflective
reflective
sunglasses? I like that. Plenty, yours are close.
Well.
Put them down.
I was about to say I have glasses. I don't have reflective glasses. Let's see. Can anyone see this right now?
Nah, we're all good. We're not going to get copyright
Don't
strike.
have the don't have the effect.
Nah, that's harsh. If they pull it for my sunglasses, that's crazy.
Like the 2 seconds.
No, what
It
you
means
need
they're
to
watching
do,
us,
what
though.
we need to do. I was going to say what
Will is a hero.
I have allegedly seen people do is stream UFC pay-per-views
Yeah.
under the guise of them playing like a UFC video
That's
game.
so
Allegedly.
Yes.
They just hold a controller.
do
and
we
stuff,
just?
right?
So allegedly, could we just pretend this is FIFA and we're all playing
It's just
FIFA,
a FIFA
at like
night, yeah.
real-time speed?
Just gotta hold the fingers.
Pro clubs.
Yeah,
It's you know.
that's mine. Yeah.
Like,
Still-
but I feel like that wouldn't. I feel like that wouldn't work just because, like, who honestly plays FIFA at like a full 90-minute game? No one, right?
Well, I mean, Lockie asked me last night. He was like, "Jacob, have you ever played a game on Football Manager where you played the full 90 minutes in real time?"
I'm gonna do that. That is going to happen. Because I'm.
Matty,
Yeah, people
Matty,
do that.
Matty,
They're
Why?
sickos. Yeah, that was
only for
scary.
only for like a
What?
Champions League final. You know
It's
what I mean?
final. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get the suit on?
Exactly.
Put it on TV and sit on the
The
couch.
one of
so
the
you're,
guy,
like,
the one of the guy who
stand.
got a touchline ban, so he brought his step ladder out and stood
Oh,
on
yeah.
top of it with his
Yeah,
laptop.
that's
Had
a
the
yellow
headset.
card and a half.
Born Barto was
No,
asking
no,
how
I
are
think-
we feeling about Japan versus Saudi Arabia, considering Japan is already qualified. We talked about this on the podcast yesterday. It's an interesting dilemma. Personally, I feel the attitude of Japan would be that they're always going to put out a competitive performance, right? And especially because in this window, they're still playing with a squad that was picked when they hadn't qualified, right? So it's not like potentially in the next window, if they play a bunch of domestic players, some young kids, and try, blend a few people in, that's a different story. But they're always going to be competitive, Japan. And to come home after you've qualified for the World Cup, there's going to be a big celebration after this game, no matter what, but they're not going to want to do that after a loss. So I'm fairly confident for this one.
They could name 4 squads that are better than the other squads in this.
Exactly.
In this group, like it's silly talk. And I don't know, you're getting into a bit of a grey area, not grey area, but like I don't think it's in the Japanese ethos to take it easy like that. I think
agree.
like it's
It's like pride.
I've been
and
there a
honor
couple
and,
times.
Exactly.
I went on exchange there, so I feel like I can comment on this.
Will is our Japanese
More
correspondent.
informed than others. Don't ask me to speak anything. I know 3 sentences, I think, but no, I just don't see that being.
Well, that's a dive, isn't it?
Yeah, he's thrown himself to the floor.
It certainly looked like it. I actually
Lucky,
yeah, go on.
sorry, I was gonna say. I feel like what you need to do is you do that. If you're gonna do that Champions League live stream, I feel like what you need to do is when when FM26 comes out, you need to get an Australian club to the final of the Champions League Elite and just play the entire thing out on the RBA YouTube.
Okay. So Jacob and I had this conversation last
We had
night.
this, yeah.
Let me I'll let you all in on a little behind the scenes actions, right? When FM26 comes out, I want to I want to take an Australian team to win the Club World Cup, right? I think that'd be a sick video to do. All in one video, like it's not like a drawn out series. Like it would take me months to do, right? But it would be sick. And so right now I've just started to save in FM24 with Melbourne Victory, trying to like figure out how I would go about it, right? So when 26 comes out, I kind of know the process. I know like what bits I will need to film and which bits I don't need to film and how to do sims and speed things up, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to take a Australian team to the Club World Cup. So we'd probably do one video like Asian Champions League and explain why that's so difficult with the salary cap and everything. Then the Club World Cup, or maybe it's all in one. And then like the big cliffhanger of the video is like, I get an email offering me the national team job, right? And then it's like, this video doesn't end until Australia wins the World Cup. To kick off FM26.
The aspirations are
Look,
impeccable.
which team would you take? Would you try to do it with Melbourne Victory, or would you try to choose
I
a
was going
bigger
to say
team?
biased. Already biased
Well,
there.
You just
I'm
pick
doing this
Adelaide
practice
because they're the
one
best,
with Melbourne
you know.
Victory for obvious reasons.
Oh,
right?
hello!
Irvine.
Are you way ahead of us?
Oh, fuck.
That's
Oh, that's a
Let's
great
go.
finish.
Jack-
Unless he
That
is
is a
tonight's
gorgeous
prediction.
goal.
Absolute blinder of a window. 1-0 Australia.
He always does this though,
3-2.
right? Like he just
Yeah.
pops up and scores goals, and it's like All right, sure, mate. Just go for it.
He's
I love how
Mile
I love how
Jedinak
Tony Popovich
reborn in
isn't
that-
celebrating
in
and just
that-
immediately comes out and just starts yelling, "Get back! Get back!"
Yeah, but Mile
Someone's on the
Jedinak
pitch.
did this as well. Like
He did, yeah.
scored so many important goals out of
But this
nowhere,
is the
and they
thing,
would be
right,
in
like-
bunches like this. They would be in bunches.
Like Irvine can have such a quiet game like he did against Indonesia, and yet he got man of the match because he scored 2 goals. It's like it's just
Does the work as well.
He
Lovely.
knew that was in
Yeah.
like halfway
Yeah.
before it hit as well.
That's a great hit.
That is absolutely
So-
gorgeous. The reverse angle just makes it look so much better.
Will and
He got a brace last week, didn't he? So that's 3 goals in
yeah.
2 games. You know, I reckon that this to borrow a quote from Jackson Irvine, this modern day classic of a kit, you know, might have some magic powers in it. He's scoring goals again for the national team.
he's doing well. He's doing well. G'day
Yes.
Blinkus. G'day Rennie. So Christian.
What were you gonna say, Lockie?
So Christian must hate the Western Sydney Wanderers. Borello's tarts and yeah, good goal. Good goal. What was I going to say?
I don't know. You mentioned me and Will.
I've lost my train of
Yeah.
thought. Oh yeah, that's right.
I think just before that goal happened, I was trashing the idea of
Can we make an official motion
yeah, I was
for Quality
trashing
to
the idea
pause
of
their
using
stream?
Melbourne Victory.
I can't hear.
Sorry, the
Everyone's
timing of that
talking.
was
The
horrendous.
timing
There's
is
a
so
couple of
off.
seconds of
Oh
lag.
my.
We're not coordinating very well. But I was saying, I think we need Paletti to just pause their stream for 5 seconds.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
to bring back to the level of the group.
I think I did that already.
Okay.
So I think what happened was, as I've been coming in and out of having the game open, as I've been trying to navigate Blue Sky, it's been pushing me back, and so I've been skipping forward, and I've sort of been getting a couple of seconds ahead, and then I've been skipping back. So I think I'm in line now with everyone else.
Awesome.
Let's go call out 18 minutes.
Okay.
17:55.
5, 6,
No,
Yeah, I'm
18.
with
Oh,
Jacob.
right. 18 now.
Yeah.
18.
Okay. I can pause for a second as well.
Mine is literally to the second what the
Clock
stream
is there. Yeah.
I think what we need to do is we need to invest in a Round Ball Australia studio where we can all just turn up in a studio.
Problem with that, Paletti, is we all live all over the country.
Studio is the cheap part. It's flying
Yeah.
out to it.
every week.
All I'm saying is that of all the people on this live stream right now, 2 of us live in Sydney. That's all I'm saying.
Nick's saying you guys are about 45 seconds off the AFC YouTube live stream here in Spain.
We're gonna go to
Try
Spain,
our
guys.
best. The clock is there. If you want to sync up with us, you can do it.
Yeah.
We'll try and make it easy as possible. Don't forget to subscribe as well, everyone. We've got a lot of people in here. We are so close to hitting 1,000. We're going to get there in the next month or so. We know it. But yeah, give us a subscription. We appreciate it.
Christian's in here. Woo!
Up the Aussies. G'day, Christian. So I was really hoping. So I was trying to pick a particular service to get this live like table graphic up, and it's slightly scrolled again. But I picked live score because I thought it did like the live table where it would give me the results and move the points up and down, but it doesn't seem to have done it.
Sofa score might be your best bet.
Yeah. Surely there's an API somewhere you can nick and just.
You know what, there, Kaz, but I'm gonna go with the idea of just like not using this for the rest of the stream, because
Fair.
I'm using so much of my CPU processing. I don't want to try and open another Chrome tab to see what happens.
Sounds like you need an upgrade.
Well, there's your problem. You're using Chrome. Don't use Chrome.
Yeah.
I like Chrome. I know it's resource
Firefox
intensive.
supremacy.
Oh,
I
it's
know.
awful. Since I
Yes,
swapped to
Firefox.
Firefox, it's my
Firefox is so much better. We don't endorse a specific browser, but other browsers are available. Firefox is very
Yeah,
good.
other browsers are available. They may, as said, a good browser may or may not be named after a musical genre.
That still runs off of Chromium though.
Also, we were talking about this before as well, but I'm probably going to be getting a MacBook in the next week or so. So.
Oh dear God, no! Why? Why would you do this to us?
Because they're incredible machines, incredibly
They're
powerful.
actually very good.
machines.
They are. I will admit, I was never on the MacBook train, but I've had one for work, and it's pretty good. I don't like Mac OS, I can't stand it. But I mean, you can just upload Windows onto it anyway, so like it's fine.
Cheers, Nick. Yeah, I think
Christian
does it as well, but I think we're just going to leave it tonight.
Christian in the chat, always going on with the trash Matt Ryan agenda. What on earth was Ryan doing with that mix-up? Catch the ball, son. Okay, Christian, calm down.
He's right though. I mean, it was Will and I were both like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
He was kind of he had to jostle for it, and it was but I was nervy then.
So Monique's asking for a little around the grounds update. Japan, Saudi Arabia is still 0-0 in extra time of the first half, as our scoreboard reliably informs you. And we've got
Japan
South
are threatening
Korea.
though.
Japan are threatening. Okay. Oh, have you got the stream up, do you?
I've got the stream up.
Cool. All right. And then we got South Korea 1-0 up over Jordan in Group B about 20 minutes into their clash. And this game looks like it... Oh, no, it probably won't quite. It'll pretty much put South Korea beyond doubt for qualification, but they'll probably have 6 points in goal difference of wiggle room. So I don't think they can get it officially, but they can go a long way. Oh, China on the attack here. I tell you what, how far has Lewis Miller come in the last 15 months since tripping Son Heung-min for that penalty in the Asian Cup? He's like an absolute lock on that right wing back now.
Yeah. And it's like a spot where we're like, well, who's going to take it, right? Like, what's the option here? Strain's always injured. Gethin Jones became sort of a scapegoat during that Asia Cup campaign. Like it was, who's going to actually take that spot? But he's done a good job.
Tell you what, you know a name I haven't heard in a while, Will, that I want to hear again. I want to hear John Iredale's name again.
No.
What's he been up to anyway?
Well done, Ryan Teague.
That was very well done to play out of that.
Tell you what, we had some of those link-ups at hockey training tonight. It felt smooth. Those little tiki-taka triangles.
Miller was so funny in the mix zone the other night. He was he just kept saying he didn't know if he was going to play this one because he was just so gassed. He was like, every answer to a lot of the questions was just like, if my legs hold up, like I don't know. He does bomb that whole 90. He was up and down. Like he's putting in a good shift.
He's looked really good.
And I think Karasic is fine actually backup. If we're saying backups, then Karasic is there, and I think he has shown he's got a pretty decent potential. I think
for sure.
It's hard when you're in and out like that, and you haven't got.
And you're playing isn't he playing in like the Croatian league or something now? Yeah,
but I don't think that disqualifies him.
No. It's just a weird one where it's difficult to sort of evaluate because you've got like Dinamo Zagreb and Hajduk Split at the top, and then just everything else, and it's like,
yeah, for sure.
Well, you know what would be a hard league, Jacob, to sort of assess anyone would be K-League 2, which is where John Iredale is currently playing. I decided curiosity got the better of me as I brought him up. He's currently he joined on the 7th of January this year. He's playing for a team called Seoul Eland FC. It's owned by the Eland Group, whatever that is.
I was about to say I don't know what that is.
It's certainly no Hyundai Red Wings Steel Angels, but you know it's a decent enough sounding name, I think.
Oh, that's offside, surely.
I think Jack Iredale is closer to a call-up than John Iredale.
Yeah, I was going to say there's another one.
Who's closer to a call-up?
Period where I was
Jack Iredale.
confused between the two of them.
He plays at Hibs with Boyle Miller.
There's 4 of them over there. 4 Aussies.
He's an Aussie youth, but he's born in New Zealand, moved to Scotland.
Oh, okay. So he's a Scottish passport.
No. Oh, no. This one, no, sorry. Born in Scotland before moving to New Zealand and then Australia.
Right.
There we go. Did 3 ACLs between the ages of 15 and 18. Oh.
That's...
to be still going.
Yeah, you just give up. That's one a season. He just was like 15, 16, 17, just like bang, bang, bang.
It just doesn't happen.
I mean, that's Holly McNamara levels of injury.
I was just about to say that, lady.
Yeah.
That's Holly Mack levels of injuries. Like the fact that she's still running around.
Good ball.
Yeah, he did well to get there.
With
the Ryan Teague,
particularly with women's football as it is. Like that's astounding to me. Like I reckon most players would have given up after the second one.
It's not an easy injury to deal with for sure. Ryan Teague looks so comfortable.
He's looked very good, hasn't he? Yeah.
So yeah, 4 of them. Oh, Dwight Gale's at Hibs. That is an odd one. I did not know that.
It's just Scotland now is
somewhere, but...
it's just filled with
How's that spot? Junior
recognisable
Hoylett
names
as well? That's so good. Anybody else?
Lockie, I can tell you it is half-time in Japan, Saudi Arabia.
Thank you. I'll get my little clock out.
I'll do your job for you, Will. Don't worry, it's okay.
Oh, I didn't know I had to mention half time.
Well, the clock's just ticking.
We have a
away,
clock running.
45:00.
Well, so how many minutes and a half? Stop at 45. There you go. I actually hate that when you're at a ground and the clock stops at 45, doesn't show stoppage time. That's one of my pet peeves.
I don't mind it.
I've had this discussion with the referee before, where, like, obviously stoppage time is at full discretion of the referee, as we know, and part of the idea behind it is to sort of, I guess, discourage fan abuse, in a way, just to sort of like, because with it being at the discretion of the referee, if you've got 4 minutes signalled and it gets into minute 6 and minute 7. Like, and you see that up on the board just going along.
People are idiots.
But people forget, and it also doesn't help when you've got ground announcers and commentators who just say the referee's indicated 4 minutes of stoppage time. It's like, no, it's a minimum. It's always been a minimum.
80% of the time they like say minimum. But that's what I was going to say. If you're in a stadium, then you have to look at the sign, the digital subs board that the assistant or fourth official holds up.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it on the. Sometimes it goes away off the screen. You don't know how long. Have to time it yourself. It's just annoying.
And
anyway.
It's also like an
but
entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I love about footy is, like, if you're at the ground and you don't look at the signs they're holding up on the bench, right? Like, you don't know if you're like 30 seconds or like 3 minutes away from the end of the game, right? It adds some like tension.
Because the AFL.
Oh! I'm ahead.
That's
my bad.
That is brutal.
That is A-League quality goalkeeping right there.
Hey.
Someone get Burke on that one. Oh, she'd be all over that goalkeeping blunder. My word.
Jeez. Well, can't ask for a much better start in terms of scoreboard for the Aussies in the first half hour. 2-0 against China. That's, I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's poor goalkeeping, but Nishan Velupillay gets his 3rd international goal.
Horrible.
It's good build-up as well, to be fair. Like, the little...
From the captain.
The little link-up play out wide, good ball across, and then just somebody's there to get on the end of it.
To bring up another famous Australian sporting quote, I think you just dropped the World Cup, mate. Oh dear, but there you go, 2-0 for the Socceroos, you take it.
That's karma for the Mariners AFC experience, I remember. That was
the one you won.
No, where he was it?
Oh yes, you were spot on. It's coming back to me now.
No, wasn't it? Was it in? I think it is.
The same keeper that
that's swapped on with Docker.
Yeah, they got really stuck into each other.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Shandong Taishan, and he was the captain of China. I'm pretty sure I remember that being the case.
Yeah, Shandong Taishan is the same guy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Mate. It always comes back.
It always comes back. And because that was just before the Adelaide game as well, wasn't it? I feel
Brother has to change his shirt.
Yeah, he got some blood.
That's what the delay is. Oh, it's just a little bit of blood, she'll be right. Couldn't even notice it. So now the Socceroos have to play down 10.
That'll be fine.
Down 10? That's a tough ask.
I bet say down to 10.
Clutch. Clutch
While,
is
while,
saying,
while Kit Man goes and get a spare kit.
Clutch is saying Nish is my god now. Adam Wayne, Valupale needs to leave Australia for Europe. That's an interesting one. Sam says Nish's run earlier in the play, checks back into space, works it out wide, and immediately drags the line back with a hard, narrow run, then stays alive first time for the finish left. Love it. He's been a player that he's clearly had so much quality, and clearly Tony Popovich believes that. But again, being a Melbourne Victory supporter, he's burnt me too many times by having like really good starts to seasons and just fading away. Like before, I don't think he'd scored more than 3 goals in an A-League season before this season, which is crazy for a player that we feel like has been around a few years now for a winger, right? Like he should have more goals than that, but he just doesn't. So he needs to put it all together for a full season.
God, that switch is just begging to be hit, and they are not looking at it.
Out to Miller.
Come on, boys. He's in so much space. He's literally... he's got his
this
own
is good.
continent out there.
Barello's doing really well dropping deep, but he's not
That's a great
involved
ball.
when it
That's a good.
gets to the last, the
Oh,
last play.
Clutch, I love it. I'm not going to tell them. Clutch just made a bingo card and sent it to me.
oh no.
I don't want to spoil anything, so just
Actually, no, I love that.
Yeah, no, we can't know.
No, yeah, we're not allowed to know.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Is this gonna be like the game changer episode where Clutch is playing along to a bingo card and someone else is playing along with a Clutch bingo card in the chat or something like that? Like,
I can confirm Clutch already has 3 in a row, so it's a 3x3 board.
Oh,
We're too.
No,
we're
hold on.
need to up the difficulty there, Clutch. It's,
I don't think top middle Clutch. I don't think top middle has actually happened.
oh, Lockie the Arbiter.
Yeah, I don't think so.
oh, China's making a sub already.
Who was it involving?
Christian, that's the thing. Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll go over the ones that have been called, right?
Yes.
There we go.
As during this little injury break. So, Paletti makes an obscure reference. That one ticked on.
About 11.
Yeah.
Scoreboard is broken. We left it a little late on the Japan-Saudi Arabia halftime, so fair enough. It's happened twice. Do you know who Christian is? That's my question. Because it says Christian brings up South Australia. I don't think so. I haven't been reading all of the comments, but I don't think Christian's
Not been in that. I've not seen it. And,
Maybe you mean Jacob.
That might have been
I don't
supposed
even
to be
think
Jacob.
you've brought up South
have I?
Australia.
I've not brought them up yet. I was going to.
No, Jacob has not.
You have.
Jacob has not been on Team South Australia tonight.
I've brought up Craig Goodwin, and I said
Brought
it's
up
a shame he's
Adelaide.
not
Oh,
start.
to be fair, that maybe counts.
Oh.
That maybe counts. And
Well
the
then,
other one-
for the record, I was gonna say that when it pans to the crowd sometimes with the 3 tiers full of red shirts, it looks like the 2016 Grand Final at Adelaide Oval.
There we go.
There you go. Oh, okay.
There you go.
Apparently it was a typo, so-
From the chat, it was a typo. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that one's
There was
done.
definitely mentioned Adelaide earlier. I do remember hearing that.
Okay, fair enough. That's 3. And then top right, someone is way ahead in the stream. Maybe definition of way ahead, but for the
I'm a lit.
it spoiled the game.
I am a
so-
little.
It's been Paletti and Will, so you know
I celebrated,
combined.
but I held it back.
You know,
Oh, take
oh,
a shot.
good hit.
All right, so we have Clutch. You need the whole board, by the way, before you call bingo. We ain't doing this 3 in a row nonsense. You need the full board.
What does he get for a bingo?
A round of applause.
Is
Complimentary
I know Paletti makes no. He is not getting a complimentary kit. No. That is not happening.
Free shipping.
They have their own deal.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Little kid
Yeah,
swap?
Clutch and I have our own deal. We're doing kit swaps. So
Sam.
he is sending me a wonderful 2025 Las Vegas Lights kit, and I am sending him the Australia away kit and the round ball kit.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sam's saying surely Lockie talks about Australia's coefficient ranking has to be on there. If it was a Champions League game, absolutely. My PC is struggling either.
Well, I
can't
mean,
behind you.
China we're catching up to China in the coefficient, right?
Yes, we are.
just poke the bear a little bit.
I reckon, like, I know Makes an obscure references on there, but I feel like Makes a Simpsons reference needs to be on there as well, because that's never obscure.
That's definitely, especially some of the ones you pull out. It's
No. Hello. Oh no. Hopefully, are we back? Are we back? Hopefully we're back. Oh yeah, you can probably hear me, but I'm not in the Riverside call anymore. Hold on, I'm joining back. Hello.
We're only saying extremely nice things about
Look
it.
who's back!
He's back.
We're live!
Oh no, but now all the things are in the wrong place. What the hell?
Oh,
There we go. Oh, no, we're still...
so no, I'm just not there. You got 4 of Will and none of me. Which, according to some people, might not actually be that bad of a thing.
Is the stream back? I need to know.
I think it is. It's looking like it
Yeah,
on
the
my
stream's
screen.
been going the entire time.
Has it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you not been reading the comments?
Have you not?
I read it seems to me.
Oh, he's so back. Yeah, sorry, I'll fix the camera in a second. I haven't seen the last 5 minutes of the game either.
It's funny, I just
You
put the
haven't
volume
missed
on.
anything.
Like, I just saw you, like, looking panicked, and I put the volume on, and I just hear you go, oh, no. And I was like...
Now, that is a very good claim by Matt Ryan, Christian, if you're still watching. Say something bad about that one.
Okay. We're good. There we go. Plenty. You're going to have to reframe yourself a little bit. Or just, like, keep jumping. Well, I mean, to be fair, your framing was weird the whole time. It just needed the middle. Okay.
We're getting
Sorry about
commentary
that,
by the
everyone.
chat anyway.
We didn't
Am
lose too many
I
viewers.
good now? I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Apologies. I thought my internet had a moment, but maybe not if the stream kept going the whole time and it was just
Yeah.
me.
My internet did the other night. I was annoying, and then it was out for, like, all the
Sorry,
Saturday.
Riverside, other podcast recording apps are available.
Are they, though? Are they? You know?
No, we like it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
To
Riverside's
be
good.
fair, I think I've just cooked my CPU. I think I had too much trying to go at the moment.
It's
What
Firefox time.
CPU have you got?
It's an i7.
How old?
It's a little bit old.
Still.
At least 5-6 years. So this is another reason why I need my lovely new MacBook.
Dedicated streaming device.
Yeah, dedicated.
Other
streaming
laptops
device.
are available.
Well, my thinking is, Jacob, if I keep this one, I don't know how to do it yet, but you can like do stuff on one computer and actually stream with the other, right?
Yeah.
So I could use this machine to stream stuff.
Yeah, as a
and,
streaming one, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll figure that out later. How are we going?
Oh, attempted bicycle kick clearance.
He's whacking
That was. He's probably going to get carded for that, right? That was a bit of a rash challenge. You don't reckon?
Also, has Japan and Saudi Arabia resumed yet? I don't know.
Yeah.
Will's
sort
wearing
of-
the China
I-
keeper kit. What? It's the same. No, it's like the same design. It's. I'm not even. I just had a
the
moment of
template,
realization.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
an
you
identical
didn't tell me
design.
to start the clock.
I think there are bigger
Well,
issues
to be
than
fair,
that.
we haven't had access to you for like the last 6
Yeah.
minutes, Lockie, so
Okay.
And mine.
I think we
my
can be
Paramount-
forgiven on this one.
My Paramount somehow switched to watching Broad City. I'm not sure what happened there. TV show. I'm apparently starting that one now. I'm
I mean, I've heard good things about Broad City.
Okay, well, I might have a watch afterwards. Can I be on Broad City watch instead of Japan Saudi Arabia watch?
All right, there you go. Japan, Saudi Arabia clock is up to date as well.
Okay.
Appreciate everyone's concern in the chat. I don't really know what happened, but we're
we're
back.
getting-
We're moving.
Running commentary there is good.
Quite
Yeah,
funny.
in the chat. I'm going back and reading some of it. Oops. It's getting late. Yeah, we can still hear you, Lockie, if you talk cards. Yeah. I hope I didn't say anything bad. I thought I was okay.
We're getting banned. Channel's getting taken down.
Yeah.
We are so bad. It looks kind of psychedelic. Yeah, you're not wrong. Show us the screen, you Muppets. That would get us banned.
yeah. We wish we could. We wish we had that sort of power and privilege, but
All right, thanks. How do you reckon the boys feel with Australia being circumnavigated by Chinese? Okay, now I argue.
getting a bit geopolitical there. Yeah.
So Sam
all
saying that I'd like Broad City. I mean, like I said, I've heard good things about it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things about it. I've currently got about 5 different shows on Dropout to get through. Dropout, good streaming service. Highly recommend.
Is it a legal one?
Yes.
Okay.
Home of such shows as Game Changer, Make Some Noise. I really like Dirty Laundry. That is a good one.
Add
also
another to
Shot
the
Time,
obscure
actually.
references. Yeah.
Other streaming services are available.
Are available.
But how many of those streaming services have a profit share with their employees?
Some.
Probably.
That was very stressful.
I like Clutch's comment of the part where he started cussing over and over was a little weird, but it's fine.
Did I
Well, it's a good
actually?
thing we're not
I probably
monetized
did.
yet, because otherwise YouTube would have shut us down.
I probably
I
actually
think
did.
I think he was joking.
No, but I'm thinking back to what happened during that. I probably did. Oh well, it can be an explicit stream. Just for those few minutes, by the way.
Sam, I'll definitely take your suggestion and I'll load up Broad City next. Almost Clutch Dropout, actually 10 out of 10. It's the best subscription service I pay for. Yep, I completely agree with that, Clutch. If you have a favorite Dropout show, drop it in the comments. Curious to see what people like. But coming back to the Socceroos here, still 2-0.
Yeah.
Coming into first half stoppage time.
Football. That's why we're here. 45 minutes. About to elapse.
We're here
and
for
my-
football
my
on a
perfect-
football channel.
Oh, my clock is now 2 seconds out of sync because I had to reload the stream. This is devastating. Oh, I can just pause. Hold on. There you go. I'm back in sync. Back in sync. Free kick for China. 3 minutes at a time.
Just be smart, keep it out, boys.
We really need Japan to score a goal here, by the way. Just
Yep.
throwing that out there.
Nicely done.
What up, Matty?
Well claimed.
Bit more convincing. Thank
It's
you for the
almost like he
subs,
was
everyone.
left.
Up to 850.
It's almost like he was left far alone at the just outside the. What do they call it in Aussie rules? Do they call it a box? I don't know. The
square.
little
Goal
thing at
square.
the goal square. Yeah. It just
Even though
looked
it's a
like he was a
rectangle.
defender. It looked like he was just coming up to just take a mark at the goal square. It's a nice, simple, easy one there.
In hockey,
Yeah, I know my Aussie rules.
in hockey we have like the kind of oval, right, that
Yeah.
is around the goal, and it's called the circle, and it's not even like half of a circle. Like it's not even an oval, like, because it comes out straight, then bends, and then the top is straight.
It's got a bit of straight, yeah.
So it's not even close to being half a circle, but we just call it the circle because you go in the circle and you shoot.
Well, what do you call it? What is that shape? Anyone in
I don't
chat
know,
knows? Let us know.
the goal zone, the end zone.
Yeah.
The oblong.
The oblong.
The
Hey,
oblong.
mate, I'm in the oblong. Give it to me.
It might make
Yeah,
hockey
I
interesting to watch if they've got funny names for things, though.
Well, we have
Nah,
penalty corners.
that kills it for me. Oh.
We have penalty strokes, penalty corners, and long corners.
So are we saying a draw's no good, Japan, Saudi Arabia? Because our goal difference is basically a point.
Yeah,
That's the classic.
It's not
But
ideal.
A point would be an extra point would be,
but
a point
even
as well.
so, if this was a draw, we have 2 points on them. They play Bahrain going into the next match. Even if we won a game against Japan and they beat Bahrain, we'd still have to not let them win at home to qualify, right? But if Japan win here, then a win against Japan or Saudi Arabia would put us through. So
aren't they
I think
aren't they 3
the
behind?
problem.
Saudi, in the live table they would be right now because we have 2 points on them right now.
Oh, we have 2
I
points.
think
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I think the problem with what you're saying, Will, is like goal difference is. Oh, hang on, he's been taken out there. Gosh, I think this is the problem with what you're saying is that yes, goal difference is good, but like we all like this is also the Socceroos. We know that Japan and Saudi Arabia can absolutely pump the Socceroos if they want to. So like, how good is that goal difference actually?
All right, half time. Australia 2, China 0. There you go. Pause, reset the clock. There you go. Timer on points. Good start. Can someone who's watched a little bit more of the game than me talk about how we've been going?
It's been just pretty methodical, to be honest. No one's really made any big mistakes. A lot of playing centrally, which is quite interesting considering how narrow China are sitting and how much space there is out wide, especially on the switch, which Australia just haven't been targeting much, to be honest. But yeah, outside of that, China haven't really threatened in attack, and to the reverse, Australia have been really good in attack. So,
Gee, that challenge on
Like Socceroos are good for their 2 goals, and
yeah.
I was going to say they had to use the sub about 30-ish
Yes.
minutes into the half for injury, but yeah, other than that, as Jacob said, it's just been a very methodical, stock standard sort of 2-0 performance. There's been a couple of moments where you've looked at some of the collisions and some of the refereeing decisions and been like, oh, that's a little bit how you doing, but other than that, it's just been like it probably is stock standard of a 2-0 game of football that you could probably have. Although I love how the Paramount Plus commercial is currently promoting the Socceroos versus China in the middle of the Socceroos and China game.
Hey, the game's a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say something controversial here, but the way that what Popovich wants out of the striker in this system is like Barillo has been the link up to release the wide player. Like Jacob was saying, that there's width there. We are getting the ball there, but it is after a few like one-touch passes kind of thing, and really good combination so far that we've seen. So we're working into the wide areas, but just not, we're not taking that risk by playing the longer ball. But would it be in the future once like McGree's back? Would he do well as that central player there? And then you have if you play more of the winger profile player like he's playing with Boyle and Felipe now, you get those guys bombing on. You get that McGree whoever it is dropping just slightly in and then really facilitating play there. I think that might be an interesting strategy as well. Like this isn't really Borello's strength, although he's done it well this game, but Borello's strength is really in behind lines.
Yeah.
And he's a strong finisher as well, but I don't know, mate. I don't think we necessarily the formation calls for a straight out and out striker.
I think it sort of depends how married to this tactic and this system Popovic is. Because, I mean, throughout the press conferences that he's had, he seems to be suggesting that it's just what suits the players he's got available, right?
I don't.
But
I just don't agree with him when he says that.
Well, that's what that's what I'm thinking. Like, that could be a good option for sure. But it depends on whether or not this is 100% what he wants to go with from here on out. Is this sort of three at the back with the wing backs, having the 9 dropping really deep and being the catalyst for progressive passes into the final third, or if it's just like, well, circumstances, we just need to get results. We've gotten results with this, so that's what I'm going to stick with for now. And then when I've got other players available back, McGree's back or whoever, then I might make a change and go into something different. I don't know, but yeah.
Like the part that I disagree with him on that is because he's had different profile players especially in those wide the inside forward kind of role. Like he's played with a bunch of different profiles in there, and even that midfield partnership, we've seen some different combinations there as well. Like we haven't always had the 2 holding throughout a game more as well. I can't remember if somebody dropped back from one of the 10 positions. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see that. I feel like it's pretty rigid, and he would have gone away and he selected a whole different squad, yet the system's persisted. So he hasn't really deviated. I don't know if he's just kind of covering himself by saying that, like he needs to be, you think he needs to be flexible, but I don't. If this
I'm sorry, I could see Paletti's cats slapping each other in the background, and it was distracting me.
I don't think everyone at home can see that because
stream can't see that. Yeah,
the camera panned in a bit, but yeah, the cat's going crazy. We've got a couple of comments coming through.
Yeah, that's it now. Yeah, I haven't even been paying attention to them, to be honest.
I just saw something move on my screen. I was like, "What's that?" It's just your 2 cats going at it.
Lucky you got really football related stuff.
Oh my gosh, they are going at it.
I'm waiting for my moment. We get Damon saying Ryan Teague impressive. Yeah, I think he's been super solid, right? He's looked very comfortable, I think, at this level. Mark says fairly impressive. Hostile crowd, come on Japan. Yep, still looking for that 1 goal for the Samurai Blue to get over Saudi Arabia. It's really going to be quite important. Skulldoggery, any updates on the Giant Sutar return? I think he's done for the season, right?
Yeah.
Domestic season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So the qualification, we'll have to get through qualification, at least this phase, without him. But honestly, what am I kidding? I was trying to make it interesting. He's straight back into the team as soon as he's fit, isn't he? Tan saying, should Duke come in for Borello? I don't know. I don't think any halftime subs, maybe we go on that conversation. Like, it could happen, but also, is it really
I think Will's made a very good case for keeping Borello on, actually. So, don't mess with what's working.
Fair enough.
It's been the main way we've worked it forward is by Borello's touches. And
he's almost playing as like a 10, to be honest.
Yeah. So I'm saying I think something else can work in this, just personnel wise, other than like with this system that's going. I don't know.
Well, and because that movement as well, I think inadvertently it opens up Irvine to make those late runs as well, because having Borello drop deep, it occupies the markers that would otherwise be on Irvine, so it gives him that opportunity to make that later run towards the box, which is where he's been scoring all his goals from. So
I don't want to claim anything here, but I've said that I think every Socceroos preview we've done and everything like that, I do remind people about his time as basically a number 10, but he was really good at that box crashing stuff, and he played at it was Burton
Albion.
Albion,
Burton,
and he had I think it was over 10 goals in a season and stuff. He was capable of that, and I'm glad to see it pay off, and I'm glad to see that he got man of the match in that game, because then he could come into the presser, because the man of the match of that game was coming in with with Popovich, and he's just such an awesome guy to listen to as well. And yeah, that was very good.
Very nice. Damien says, not really
So-
tested, but Dejanek and Burgess look like a solid combo. Milos Dejanek is a really interesting part of this squad, right? Like, I don't know if you saw his pre-match press conference, but the way he speaks about football and life is just so unique. It's like someone asked him about, you feel the pressure, and it's like, nah, mate. Like, pressure is waking up in the morning and having to put food on the table for your family. This is joy. This is love, right? And we saw the impact he played. He didn't play a lot of football at the Qatar World Cup, but you could tell that he was a very key part of the squad, right? And just a key person and personality to be there. So I didn't expect him to play, I'll be perfectly honest, but he's been fine in this game, right?
Yeah, 100%. He's not really had a lot of defending to do for the most part.
I think
Australia been in control.
Yeah, he much more suits the outside centre back of a three than he does in a back four, which we've had in the past, which is why he probably hasn't played as much as he did. He had a decent run in the past as well, but yeah, no, I think he can excel in this period where we don't have Chikati and Suter for sure.
He's been playing in the middle though today, hasn't he not? Burgess out wide.
Oh, Burgess was pretty wide.
Yeah.
So much has been going on.
So much.
Or is it just we've not been paying attention?
2 games trying
I've been
to go
distracted.
across. Yeah, Will's been glued
Also,
to Saudi Arabia.
Kai Truan, not number 9, getting the bin. By the way, that's
yeah,
disgusting.
that's gross.
I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. Is this
Plus-
one of those tournaments where they have
plus
to be
in the
1 to
chat.
26?
Yeah, no, they have to be 1 to 23. Yes.
Or 23, yep.
Still.
Yeah, and I think it was a 26-player squad name, so obviously three of them dropping to the bench. But yeah, it is one of those 1 to 23 tournaments, which it leads to some interesting number selections. Clutch in the chat, cat cam required for the next stream.
God help us.
Look, if I can figure out a way to get some sort of VO equivalent for cats that I can set up on my desk, Clutch, I will absolutely.
Did you get one of those ones that goes on
find
the
a way
collar? Those little collar cams. Yeah.
POV.
You just watch the camera just juggling around and they're pouring at each other.
That would be a unique way to get some of the match footage on film.
Sort of what I could do is I could just put my TV on and just sort of strap the cats into the couch, and there's just a camera on the collar that's just capturing the TV, and it's just like, we've got the cat cam.
Yeah.
Cat strapped to the couch.
Tan is asking, will Triantis get some game time? I believe he's not in the matchday squad.
Not on match day. I was
for
going to
the
say that for
second
the
time.
halftime subs. I was going to say, can you add from the cut 3 players, because
No,
I would love
you
to see
cannot.
Triantis.
I would love to see him too, but it's not going to happen this window. Hunter Valley is saying, funny how against Indonesia at home, Australia had no possession but were clinical in front of goal and set pieces, now having more possession against China in China. To be honest with you, I actually don't think that's down to the Socceroos at all. They're proving themselves to be very adaptable, and Indonesia under Patrick Kluivert wanted to press up and take a lot of the ball and be that way, and they found ways to break them down, in counter-attacks. And here, China are much more comfortable out of possession, so they're giving the ball to Australians. I think we're just kind of matching what our opponent is giving us.
I think as well, playing more transitional against Indonesia was trying to play into the game plan that they had, right, where they were trying to bypass the press, and if you're being pressed like that, there's not that opportunity to sit and rest on the ball and maintain possession. You've got to be quick and decisive in your moves. So I think that's a symptom of that as well, in that the way Indonesia approached the game.
I can confirm that another one of Clutch's bingo spots was someone turns their camera off. And Clutch,
There
I
you
know
go.
you tried to claim that when the whole stream went down, but at least this is a real one. You can pencil in. I got a message from Paletti saying, "Cat attacked me. Be back shortly."
Oh. They didn't like the comments we were making.
Any thoughts on why Luongo not called back into the team?
Not needed.
He's not been playing.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking about that, but it's sad that Ipswich signed a few other midfielders ahead of him, and just has really struggled for game time. And he played in the cup, not a couple of weeks ago, but that's definitely not enough to kind of warrant a recall. It was just because he the clamour around it. The initial recall was because he was just so instrumental to that Ipswich team, during their rise. But as soon as he's not playing, it becomes hard to pick him on merit for that.
Are they going down, Ipswich?
They're going down, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, they're the one with a chance out of the three.
Yeah.
But Wolves are putting a big gap on them.
I was going to say, I knew there was two kind of rooted, but I haven't checked the table in a while. Oh,
it was
good reason.
To be fair, Ipswich and Leicester both on 17, then Wolves 26. That's a 9-point gap.
Yeah.
With what?
It was
9
much
games to
closer,
play.
and Wolves had a couple in a row.
Well, that's probably good for Mass and Cam, to be honest, right?
Yeah, and what's his name from online from City is going to go back.
Calvin Phillips.
West Ham. Yeah, Calvin Phillips going to go back. There'd be more game time in the Championship.
All right, they're out for the halftime kind of re-warm up. I don't see any new faces. I believe it's the same 11.
Looks like it.
Can't see anybody. Teague's still out.
Teagues,
Bajic.
Bajic.
Yeah, everyone
Miller's
looks
still
the same.
there. Yeah.
G'day, Philly. How you doing, brother? About to get the second half underway.
Yes.
So two other little spots on Clutch's bingo card here, which we can't affect. So I feel like I can tell you, Australia win is bottom left, and then Clutch falls asleep is another one. So I don't know if have you fallen asleep yet, Clutch? Have you had it? Because it must be a crazy time for you at the moment.
He's still in here commenting, so.
Yeah, regular comments.
So he's set up like an AI chatbot or something, maybe.
What if that was like the last square though? Like, how could you fall asleep knowing that falling asleep would be the final spot in the minute?
We'd win, but we wouldn't win.
Yeah, I'd be too excited to fall asleep in that moment.
Just take a massive dose of melatonin and just hope.
So we've got two other panel dependent spots left on Clutch's bingo card to fill. And I'll leave it at that. I think Clutch middle left is going to be tough.
Also, Skullduggery Pleasant. What a book series. Can I just say, fair play. What an excellent. Oh man, that was. I read so many of those. Just like smacked them out in like 2 weeks. I used to love them.
All right, I got to get the clock ready. Where are we?
But also, Skullduggery Pleasant was saying we had Usain Bolt at the Central Coast. Any thoughts on Gout or Guat, if you want to say it correctly, joining
it is
somewhere?
Gout. Sorry, just jump in. I know his dad came out and said it was wrong, but then his management came out like a day after and like, no,
we're going to keep it at this,
Yeah, I've been for saying, okay. But that was the story was still true from the dad, surely.
Well, yeah, that's what they wanted the name to be, but
it's
not what it's ended up as.
Exactly. That's
so,
there we go.
He's a tremendous athlete, though.
He's insane. He's already broken 20 seconds in the 200.
Yeah,
incredible. But the football field's only 100 meters, so it's kind of pointless.
No, it's a completely different skill set.
Have you seen that podcast clip? I cannot remember who it was, but someone who was at the Mariners at the time, some marquee player that everyone's forgotten about. He's doing a podcast and they're asking him about training with Usain Bolt, and someone asked was he quick getting in behind? And he goes, yeah, he was rapid. Rapid, mate. So Usain Bolt rapid, like, come on.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, Jeff. No, I reckon Gakko would be a good box-to-box midfielder because could track that 200 meters like from.
See, I don't think so because he doesn't have the
26
endurance.
minute,
It's it's like it's such a specialized skill set doing sprints. It's insane.
Just imagine that one recovery and then all the way back to set up a goal. You need that one goal.
Sprinters are precious as well. So I could speak from experience working in athletics, but it's tremendous what he can do and how quick he is. But I don't think it would translate well to the football pitch. Although of all the clubs in the A-League, this is perhaps a better question. All the clubs in the A-League, which would be the most likely to make that signing?
Just to sign Gout. Oh,
Yeah, would it be the Mariners again? Just
I reckon the Bulls.
the Bulls. See, I think it's sort of he's
No,
from
that's a
Queensland.
Well, we do have. So the Bulls do have an athletics track sitting outside the back of the stadium. So.
There's his warm up. There you go. Go out there and just
Actually
run.
recruited, like seriously though, so
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't do it. Maybe Perth
think it-
Glory.
Glory or the Raw, like just in your banter era. Just,
But the Raw think too much of themselves to do that.
but he's from Queensland. He's a local boy.
That's true.
You know?
That's
The,
true.
the Mariners of that period are the only team that would ever do anything like that ever again. Like, I don't think any other team would replicate that. I was doing an internship at the club at the time actually. Then and it was
Yeah.
I stopped telling people that I was doing that. Extremely embarrassing. But I had an insight on it, and I found out like a little while before, which always feels good.
That's cool.
Yeah, you had the in. Didn't
Yeah.
leak
I
it
had
for
the in.
some favour.
Did not leak it. Oh, I was like 18. I would have pooped my pants if I was got found out for doing any of that.
Tan is asking, do you guys think Lewis Miller has solved the Socceroos right back issue? If you consider
looks like it.
this backfired, yeah, absolutely. I think he's a lock to play on the wing back.
It's just his energy, right? Like, and the fact he can keep it up for 90 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like, really, the only other player who's proven to do that is Dylan Parias.
I
so
was
far
literally
this
just
season.
about to bring that
Right,
up. You
like,
got
you
him
know.
with your bloody South Australian bias first.
Yeah, but like he's the only other one that I've seen been able to really sustain that sort of a
Yeah.
role for 90 minutes. And he until he got sick, he had like the flu or something. He had played every single minute of Adelaide's season, so it was
You'd have to think he'd be the number 2 behind Miller
surely,
in terms
surely.
of that specific role. I know Karacic
Yeah.
is in
Yeah.
the squad because Paris isn't at full fitness, right? So
yeah.
uh,
It's like
in
it's
June.
very difficult to have somebody who's playing that sort of a role in the first place nowadays, where your back fours and back fives, your wing backs either don't have as much defensive duty or they try and invert and play more centrally, right? Whereas proper old school wing backs aren't as in vogue nowadays. So yeah, I think and the form that he's in the league this season as well is pretty good justification for it.
But yeah, I think it's super exciting when we get Casey. Not Casey. The other boss,
Geordie
the good
boss, the good one.
one. Sorry. No, Casey's good. Casey's good.
you know what? Just sorry, yeah, you finish. I'm going on a rant afterwards.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't have much more to say. I was just gonna say I just keep thinking about Geordie Boss back, please. It's such an exciting player to watch. I really, think he's one of the best. He's got the highest ceiling, maybe in this
I
world.
agree. Casey Boss's potential in Football Manager 24 is excruciatingly low. He's a first teamer, and I can't get him above like a 1.5 star. But I keep playing him just out of like persistence. But I'm
I would
still
just.
rocking a
Do you have the
Darwin
editor?
Sorry.
I would just update him on the editor.
Nah.
full PA.
I doing this legit. Doing this
Doing it
legit.
legit.
Okay.
I mean, they gave me $7 million in my first transfer window, so how legit is it?
The finances in the A-League are just
That
all
was
out
Tony
of whack.
Bloom.
It's so funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they sold the 777 stake and they're just like, we're just going to invest in the squad.
Sam
Go
says
sign
put them
us
in the box
5
too.
marquees.
Yes, for sure. Oh, deflection, corner. Clutch is saying Japan with 9 shots and 78% possession, but nothing to show for it. Shall we go to our our Japanese correspondent, Will Booth?
Nothing happening. No, because every time I tab out for too long, it takes like 10 seconds to load back in.
Yeah.
And so I've just been flipping back and forth, but it's not really. I can't
Not
say
doing a
much.
split
But yeah,
screen?
it's a strong take. That's the screen I'm looking at YouTube comments on as well. So
Okay. Yeah.
Fair.
I'm flipping back. But yeah, because the game was like that. Japan attacking, Saudi Arabia dealing with it. That's it.
They'll get
Like it's a strong squad though.
yeah. They'll get some
What
like
the lineups are.
silly little 90th minute winner or something. Hopefully. China's corner's
I mean-
been interesting. Hey, they've just been targeting that front post relentlessly from their corners. Every time they've had one, they just put it in there and force Matt Ryan into doing something.
I will say that it's no like if Japan don't get the result, it's not because they of a lack of effort. That's all that matters really.
At least as long as we win this game, then if we beat Saudi Arabia in the final game, we get it. We get qualification, right?
It's a lot of ifs there.
It is.
No, 2 ifs. That's a low amount of ifs, I think.
But they're 2-0 up. It just means...
Where do you draw the line, Will?
2 is fine.
2
3
is
is
fine.
you start to 3 is oof.
So does that explain your preference for 3-leg predictions then in the predictions game?
I don't know. I've given up. I think I'm out of form. I need to rediscover myself in the predictions.
Honestly,
game.
my last one was pretty honking. So
Look, I think I've got 4 weeks in a row where I'm claiming points. So, I'm back in form. Like Jeff Hopkins, I'm hitting form at the exact right end of the season. I'm going to make a late charge in the finals. I'm going to win the whole lot.
Oh, I did.
we have got to record that at some point. Yes.
I'm pretty sure I got mine exactly correct, actually. So I might be back in form.
Yeah,
And
Clutch,
mine
upload the
was
clips,
mine
go
was
for it.
spot on. Over 2.5 goals in Perth Glory Brisbane, I think, and it was 4 goals, so over 3.5. So I was a little bit under on the number, but still good.
Mine were I think it was Henry Hoare and Clayton Taylor goal contributions, and neither of them did anything.
Oh, what a
Good
save,
save.
Matt Ryan!
Great save.
You watching that one, Christian? You watching that one?
I was gonna say that from the first game. Like he's the reason it was we were even in it for the first save, but just a couple throughout the. Oh man, he's back. You can tell he's got the confidence back.
Oh yeah.
He's so good when he's like that. It's and he deserves to have the confidence back. Like his performance against Marseille, for Lens, like such a good. It was crazy to watch him walk past. I was like, that's childhood idol right there walking past. It's pretty crazy.
It's funny actually in the mix zone.
Is he the reason you wanted to be a keeper, Will?
No, I was already a keeper.
Just had to have somebody to look up to,
That
But
was
it just lined up
optimistic.
because, as I was getting kind of, that age about it, getting a bit serious. First pair of gloves and stuff, he was coming through at the Mariners, so it's good.
All right, here's an interesting one for us. So obviously, in the last 24 hours, New Zealand became the 5th team to qualify for the FIFA World Cup off the back of their 3-0 win over New Caledonia. Hunter asks, what do you think of New Zealand's qualification? Was not moving to Asia beneficial for them now because there's 48 teams at the World Cup now? For sure. Like the new expansion means that they're basically a lock, right?
Yeah,
I know
every time.
New Caledonia made it difficult in the first hour of the game yesterday, but they should have essentially unlimited access to World Cups for the next foreseeable future until Oceania football develops significantly, right? So I also don't think it's correct totally to say that not moving to Asia is beneficial, as if it's something that you can just do all the time. I kind of struggle with Australia's position in Asia as well, because there's the whole question of what is a confederation. It's well, we're an oceanic country, we're not actually in Asia, but we compete in Asia. Sure, it's great for our football, but we're just not in Asia, you know what I mean? So it's confederations are a bit silly. We have to travel really far in Asia. It just doesn't really work, but good on New Zealand to go into a World Cup at the end of the day.
But but is it worth missing or I don't know, Socceroos being at those ones really?
Well, I'd argue, had New Zealand moved to Asia, would they have qualified for those 3 World Cups anyway? Probably not.
Wait, sorry, what?
I think
They've only been to 2. They were in 82, 86, one of those 2, and then 2010. This is only their 3rd World Cup.
we were, but we were just talking about the last 3 that they've missed since that 2010 qualification. I think was Will's.
Well, okay,
question.
no, I kind of took it in the wrong way there. I mean, if they moved and competed and qualified and got better, Is it? I don't know. Is the strength of being
Yeah,
in
but
Asia,
I don't
even if
think
they didn't
I
qualify?
don't think they would have. I think
No, okay, but
I think
would they be in a
had
better
New
position?
Zealand made the jump.
The Wi-Fi
You
is
go.
crazy.
You're laggy. You're laggy. Play.
Yeah.
You go.
No, I was just going to say, like, had they made the jump, I don't necessarily think that they'd be in a better position anyway. Regardless of whether or not they qualified for the World Cups, I think yes, they'd been playing better opposition, but I think, and we sort of saw this the last time that the Socceroos and New Zealand faced off, that the talent level is just so. There's just such a disparity there, and I know domestically it doesn't necessarily show as much, as particularly with the fact Auckland's running the league at the moment, and Wellington ran the league for most of last year. At a national team level, I just think the disparity is too much there to sort of overcome in 2 or 3 cycles. Like, I think they'd have to be in Asia and go through probably similar periods of struggles that the Socceroos did at points to actually, to get better. And for New Zealand football, I don't think going through that struggle when Oceania is starting to catch up. There's heavy investment coming in from FIFA to sort of, re-kickstart football in that part of the world. So I think where they are is probably good for them. Look, at the end of the day, I've been clear on my record the idea of having an AFC West and an AFC East and just sort of absorbing Oceania, because I think long term that would be good. But plenty of people have given reasons as to why that wouldn't be such a good idea. And if you want to hear some of those, I believe we did an episode of a podcast, Lockie, or Matt Olson did an episode of a podcast where they discussed that in length.
I don't know. Did we talk about? I don't think we talked about that specifically that much.
No.
But yeah, it's
I was talking about the Final Frontier.
No, I know. I know. I was just thinking about the conversations. I don't think they talked about the split too much, but.
No, it was more towards the back end of the podcast, but they spent a good few minutes on it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think with the whole Oceania thing as well, it's like, even if you're in New Zealand, even if you wanted to move to Asia, it's like, give yourself 2 to 3 decades of just going to every World Cup and just like having that chance, right? Then you can think about it. And yeah, as you're right, Hunter, Oceania's getting a pro league. I think, to be fair, a lot of Australian opinion on it, I think people are overestimating what it's going to be. I think it's going to fall well below a lot of people's expectations, but that is happening. But yeah, you got automatic World Cups. Just chill out and enjoy that for a while.
And the inclusion now of Auckland to the A-League, it increases those professional pathways for New Zealand-based players. So,
yeah,
that's a huge addition as well.
100%. All right, 60 minutes into the game, Clutch is saying this is getting a little dicey. Still 2-0 to Australia. Still 0-0 in Japan, Saudi Arabia. We really want Japan to go and get that point. Saudi Arabia have done well. Get a point away to Australia and potentially Japan as well.
All right, you jinxed it now.
Sorry. Well, I mean, I'm not sorry.
No, that's good. No, good.
This second half, though, has really just been both teams almost sort of trading possession back and forth. Like, the structure that Australia had in that first half seems to be almost entirely out the window. Like, just little mistakes on the ball now creeping in, missed passes, and I think China are going in a little bit harder as well into challenges, and there's been more fouls. It's more stop-start.
I think they're on top, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's only been our goal that's been threatened at all this half. I think now's the perfect time for some subs, like just early subs, get them in.
Change something up.
Who are we thinking?
Ooh, Japan. Ido has a long go, but goes over.
Thanks, Chris.
Like, look here, play Miller. Play. It's too late now.
Back to you.
Should we just whenever we go have someone like who's watching a different game, just universally call them Chris?
Yeah.
Chris or Jeff? I don't know.
Yeah. Cheers, Jeff. Jeff's the classic.
I don't know.
How's that? I thought they were bringing on a sub.
A sub.
No, I'd say, boil off. Nish can go off as well, probably. I'd change both of those. Some more pace in those positions. So Goodwin and Arzani both on. I think, unless we want to...
Oh.
There we go. First
I
good
thought that
chance.
was in. I thought
yeah.
that was in.
Unless we want to run Lewis Miller into the ground, I think probably Karasic can come on as well.
He's just going back to Hibernian.
Yeah, exactly. Does Popovich care? To be honest,
Wrap him up in bubble wrap.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think there's a pen shout here.
On that push.
No,
it's no.
Play on.
I thought it got absolutely clattered in the box. That should have at least been a law.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jason Davidson get some minutes. I think he would be, not upset but annoyed slightly if he can, the recall, the rejoin, everything, the travel, just to get 0 minutes.
Where would you play him?
These 2 games? Oh, for Beige, straight swap.
You play him as a wing back?
Oh, just shore it up. He's not going to bomb on as much as Beige, but... He can also play that outside centre back, but...
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe Jason Gary or something like that. I know he's usually left-sided, but...
Definitely at his peak. I haven't watched him since he was... I didn't want to say relevant. That's a bit rude.
You said it anyway.
In the A-League.
In the A-League, sorry, in the A-League. But like he got up and down.
Thanks to Scott Duggery, plug in the subscription button as well. Had plenty come through today. Thank you very much, everyone.
Legends.
Hope you're enjoying the show. I've seen some more conversation about the Kiwi stuff as well. Adstar, I don't know if you are a Kiwi yourself. I think we do have to be careful about the amount of Kiwi teams we invite into Australian football. Like, I don't think they should be in the cup personally. I think we should
have a separate League Cup and then the Australia Cup, which is just...
Yeah, well, I agree. As soon as we get the championship, I think we should have the League Cup as well.
Yeah,
but that's a different thing.
Well, that's how they do it in North America. The Canadian team, MLS teams, don't compete in the US Open Cup. They compete in whatever the Canadian domestic cup is. So
that's them being like money hungry because they don't want to limit their potential to go and play in the Leagues Cup rather than actually in a US Open Cup, which is like fundamental to how football works all around the world. That just sucks.
But I mean, to be fair, it's also how the Canadian teams are able to qualify for the CONCACAF Champions League, so they have to play in the Canadian Cup in order to do so. But I mean, it's I don't know. I understand why the New Zealand teams are playing in the Australia Cup, in part because the quality of the New Zealand domestic football it's not entirely there to give them a strong enough pre-season. Although, to be fair, Wellington haven't exactly done themselves any favours with how they've treated the Australia Cup lately. So,
Australia Cup's best competition by far. No bias in saying that at all, but it's just fun, and it's like it signals the start of the new season, and it's like
it is fun.
Everybody's excited, and it's like you get your hopes up, and then they're immediately dashed in the league. But...
and you get stories like Wellington requesting sushi at South Melbourne and not going into heat with the other two.
Yeah, I love it for just even like every level of football, like the local Premier League's getting a go as well, and travelling. Like I've been out to Bathurst and stuff, and I've been on a few road trips, and it's always a good way to start the season.
It's like the FA Cup,
exactly. And since I moved to Sydney, we haven't gone that deep. There's so many competitive teams here, but when I was back up more north, I would go pretty deep into the Newcastle, like northern New South Wales area, and we got one game away from making the 32. I was there back. I was not playing.
You made the 64. Wow.
It would have been. One game away from the 64. Sorry.
Right.
It was like that last Northern New South Wales qualifier.
Yeah.
Right.
The regional one.
And we lost to Edgeworth. I didn't play. I was like the backup keeper because I was playing like Premier League, like reserve grade at 16. but I was just there for the. Oh, it was such a good trip.
Yeah.
We played that. We had to go like on a big weekend away to Newcastle. We played the two games over, 2 games in like 3 days, and it was rough scheduling like that, but it's pretty good.
Oh no!
Good times.
Well, that's where it's,
is your team still in the Waratah Cup, Australia Cup qualification phase, Will, or have you been knocked out already?
We didn't opt in this year. The team I play for now.
Big news.
Is that because you couldn't get play football to work?
Jeff?
No, play football has been alright for us.
Jeff.
Jeff. Full time.
0-0.
ooh.
Sorry, I can't even click on that tab. There we go. It was open. It was running, but I couldn't get it up and have a look.
Full time.
Oh,
Lewis Miller's just turned the ball over. Oh.
Clearance, well done. Yeah, full time between Japan and Saudi Arabia. So right now, as of live, we sit 3 points and goal difference above them. So anything
Switch! Sorry, that's just... he was so far open. Like, he just had so much space.
Jacob's getting... So this that's a massive point for Saudi Arabia because it means that as long as they win against Bahrain, they will have a shot going into the final game, which is massive for their hopes.
all I'm hearing is back 5, park the bus away from home from Tony Popovich on the final match day.
0 chance. Oh, we could actually go in level on points though. That's gonna, if we lose to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, a point against Japan now doesn't matter though, because we're gonna have goal difference advantage over Saudi for a draw.
Yeah.
So a point doesn't mean anything. So we may as well go for broke, which is fun.
That's good. See if Popovich works that out.
Cut him some slack.
Sorry.
Oh, it's getting a little bit late, eh?
Just a touch.
The life of a football fan in Australia. Can't even watch your own confederation play and go to bed before midnight.
I mean, there are times where, you know, this game would have kicked off later as well. Like, you know, I mean, to be fair, I think it was the 2019 Asian Cup. It was like 4:30 or like 5 in the morning, a penalty shootout going on, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, come on, like it's in Australia advanced. I couldn't even celebrate because it was 5:30 in the morning, like, or whatever it was. Like, I gotta be asleep. I was supposed to be asleep or quiet, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous.
What I disliked was, like, with the Euros and the last World Cup and stuff, is it's like, what a way to, like, you wake up so early for it. It's like, that's, honestly, it is like, I love football, but it was sometimes a slog to be like, I've got to set an alarm for like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, this is this is a bit much.
This is why I don't do. This is why one of the reasons I don't watch European football. I can't deal with kickoff times. Like, I know someone who would, like, as a guy I used to work with, his weekend was do like open till like 8 or 9 p.m. whenever he felt like going home. But he wouldn't go home. He'd go to the club and he'd go watch. And he'd just go sit at the Bricky's laptop until like 3 in the morning. Go home, come back like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever the next morning. Go home at 8. And then get back up at like 2 a.m. to watch Man United play, and then
flick on.
Go back to bed for a couple of hours, and then just go about it Sunday like nothing happened. And that was just his weekly routine. And I'm just like, how are you still alive?
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what else is crazy? that we are 72 minutes into this game of football, and as Clutch has just pointed out, Australia have not made a substitution.
Yeah.
Am I watching a Matildas game?
I said that just before Simon Hill. I feel like an expert.
Well, I mean, it was Clutch that said it first, so Clutch, props to you.
Yeah,
man.
fair.
You got ahead of everyone.
That seems a little unnecessary in a game where 2-0 up. Like,
Yeah.
do you not?
It's just like
Especially when it's kind of come to a lull, and it's like China have had a couple chances now.
Look, all I'm saying is I've watched enough national team games lately where players were just running to the ground that didn't need to be running to the ground. So this is normal as far as I'm concerned.
Tony Gustafsson vibes. Just like,
Tom Samani during the last window as well. Like that was bloody. Who was it that came off? I think Hayley Razzo came off because she was injured. Or no, Hayley Razzo played every minute. And Ellie Carpenter, the only reason she came off was because she got injured. And it's just like, we don't need to be playing them for 270 minutes in the space of a week. Get them off the park.
Please tell me, there, Paletti, if you spoke about the dogs barking during the Samani press conference on the Dubcast. Please tell me you touched on that.
I completely forgot.
No! Oh, it's a travesty.
No. So I watched the press conference because I was gonna write up about it. We completely forgot to mention the dogs. I forgot to make a note of it in my rundown. And to be fair, we didn't really talk about we talked about the Matilda squad, but we didn't talk about it for all that long.
Yeah.
We had so much to talk about this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
On the Dubcast, but it was also just like there wasn't a whole lot to say, unfortunately, because it's just a stock standard Matildas, Matildas squad. And, like we talked about the inclusions and a few different things, but yeah, we didn't. I completely forgot about the dogs barking. I forgot to put in the rundown.
Such a good moment.
To talk about, but
it's so funny.
Oh no, absolutely hilarious. Like I was listening to I was listening to the Far Post pod. And one of them were talking about that they saw they first saw a clip of it on Twitter, and we're just like pretending that the dog was like, was barking instructions at Tom Samani, like, woof, play the kids, Tom, woof.
Go doggies.
It's terrible.
But I can tell you that some of the things we did talk about on the Dubcast this week, we talked about Canberra's ownership situation.
I shouldn't have done it.
Am I not allowed to plug a key part of the Round Ball Australia?
The thing is, you got the plug, and now you're hammering it in so hard.
People don't
listen to the Dubcast, guys.
No, they don't need to anymore. Look,
the last thing I'll say on the Dubcast is we did record an interview this week with Sydney FC goalkeeper Jasmine Black, so that is well worth tuning in for.
Okay, where are we? We're 15 minutes to go. Yeah, surely a little bit of Mitch Dukes, Craig Goodwin.
I love that shout. Super sub. Yeah.
Surely you're not asking Mitch Duke to fly all the way and just not give him any minutes. He was on holiday as well. He wasn't even at the club. He was on holiday.
Who was it in that Ashes series that drove from like I think it was one of the England players. I can't remember who it was now. Like the reserve wicketkeeper during the COVID Ashes had to drive from Perth to Adelaide or something, or Perth to Hobart
to get in time.
Yeah. God, because they were like, we have to call up someone who's already in Australia, like So
I mean, to be fair, driving from Perth to Hobart would be a fair feat, particularly given that I'm not sure the Spirit of Tasmania was running.
Well, yeah, I mean, drive down and then fly in, but yeah.
Almost Clutch in the chat. As a certified Mitch Duke fan, I'm eagerly waiting. I think you might be the only Mitch Duke fan. Clutch.
Hey,
He cops a lot of flack that isn't necessarily deserved.
Where's that come from?
I loved Mitch Duke at the Mariners.
Look, all I'm saying is he cops a lot of flack that. Look, I think it's undeserved, but like he.
All
He
right,
does have a lot of people who perhaps
For-
don't give him the props.
Nah,
he
he's a
deserves,
good guy.
but
He's a good
he
guy.
is good.
First subs of the game, Aiden O'Neill in for Ryan Teague. Very good on debut from Ryan, and Fran Karacic gets a run for Lewis Miller. Not running him into the ground.
Only took until the 77th minute to make some subs, Tony.
Get some subs on, Donny.
Are we sure it's Tony Popovich in the dugout and not Tony Gustafsson? Are we sure that they haven't swapped places?
Hey, still my joke. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you make that joke.
By the way, if you are watching and you subscribe to the channel because you love us so much, have a look at the fresh kits as well. Only 1 week left on the Ramble Australia website. They're very nice, very pretty. They feel very good.
They look good as well.
They look good. $65 as well. Good value.
Yeah.
If you're interested, just thought I'd throw that out there. How are we on bingo?
I get to plug the
Clutch?
dub class, you get to plug the jerseys, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. I thought top left was going to happen way sooner, but it hasn't. It's crazy.
When are we going to find out? Because I want to know.
We'll
tell
find
you
out
full
afterwards,
time.
shortly.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you full
yeah.
Ah,
Adam Wayne in the chat, I watch the Euros while zooming with my dad, then I'd go to work.
I like that. That's great.
Madness.
We would get up as a.
I mean,
as a
I rate family time, but madness.
Yeah,
I
we
watched
do
it
it
with my
where
dad,
it was.
yeah.
Me, my dad, and my younger brother would get up at those unholy hours of the morning to watch England play. It was good fun.
England, a couple of good wins this window for England under Thomas Tuchel.
Good stuff. Miles Lewis-Skelly, elite,
Miles, let's go.
greatest player of all time.
only there because Dan Hall's in. Dan.
Dan
Hall's
Hall.
in. There we go. I don't know why that was on my tongue. Why? Because Lewis Hall's in.
Here comes
but-
Dukey.
Yeah, that's okay.
Nah,
Dukey
he's got his spot secured now.
Dukey
Oh,
was
we're getting
good.
Cass as well. Let's
Anthony
go.
Caceres.
Anthony Caceres.
Caceres.
Spare me. Spare me.
I like this question as well from the Hunter Valley Bridge Jumpers. Are there any bona fide superstars in Australia's under-20s Asian Cup winning squad?
There is a few.
Oh, I don't remember
Ocon
who was even
Engler,
in the
for
squad
sure.
now.
Paul
Ocon
Ocon
Engler is
Engler,
the one.
absolutely.
Is the one.
And as I said to Lockie last night, absolute steal on Football Manager. He's so good.
I think Panakikianis will go a long way as
Panakikianis,
well.
yeah, he's got a good future ahead of him.
I mean, Stephen Hall. Look, his career could go wherever. He's with Brighton at the moment, playing in the academy, but he will go down. Like his save will be one of the biggest moments in Australian football history
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
So I think that already classifies him as a bona fide legend.
for sure.
Who else we got?
Quintal I have high hopes. on
Quintal,
as
he
well.
was very
Quintal,
good.
Yeah.
And
Badalatu, one
Belgium.
player of the tournament.
Badalatu, yeah. Yeah, there's some really, really good players in that
I
squad.
think maybe Ocon Engler and Musa Toure are probably the closest to the Socceroos.
Yeah.
Yes,
You're
for
right.
sure. Just the level they're already
I reckon,
playing at, like,
Yeah, like right
Yeah.
now.
yeah.
I reckon a good
Motor
sort of like
actually,
half season next year from Jovanovic would get him right into the conversations as well.
I don't think so.
I think it might be a hot take. Love him to bits, obviously, as an Adelaide fan, and he's had a great season, but Archie Goodwin is so clear of him.
Yeah,
it's not
he's
even
the number
funny.
2. That's the thing.
like Archie Goodwin is so good. It's just like, yeah, it's like coming into the season, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be really fun to watch these two battle it out for that spot, and it's like Goodwin has come in and just like scored every game. It's like, yeah, well, you can't really compete with that.
To be fair, I think part of those discussions might have
chance
come
for
from the
China.
fact that Archie, like, this is the first time that Archie Goodwin has managed to stay fit for a
Yes.
season. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was out all preseason. It was like his first training session. He got
Injuries out of the
injured.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally, Adstar, and Adam, I don't see any of them being ready in time for the World Cup. I think that's still too soon. The bigger players we're talking about, Ocon Engler, you've got a number of pivot midfielders. Like look at Ryan Teague, right? It's like, well, we kind of are looking young already for that kind of role. So I don't think he's in the frame. I don't think, like Musa Toure, again, if a couple of strikers get injured, he's in the running. Panakikianis, if a couple more centre backs get injured, then he's in the running. But
I think what might help Kikianis as well, actually, is that we were talking about Dylan Perez playing in a similar kind of system, is that he does have experience playing in a back three with Adelaide. So, you know, that might be at least you've got a player who's kind of used to a system if Popovic persists with what he's doing now.
Very fair. So who do we lose there? We lost Falupale, and I'm assuming... No, not Irvine. This is slightly confusing. Hold on. I wasn't paying attention to the board.
It is... I will get it up on SofaScore.
I'm looking as well, but it hasn't come through yet.
It's not come through.
Because Irvine's still out there, and you've still got Aiden O'Neill and Caceres now coming on. So
Caceres in one of the 10 spots.
I think it was...
What, Martin Boyle? No, Boyle's still out there.
Oh, no, sorry, you're right. Yeah, I'm looking at it the wrong way. Caceres is high. Oh,
it was Borello.
Borello.
Of course.
Oh, Boyle's up top then.
Caceres looks odd in an Australia shirt.
They should have been in 1 years ago.
Just so used to seeing him in some form of light blue that it's like, you know, whether that's Sydney or City.
Does look odd. No, it's true.
Like, I don't know if that's just me, but I associate certain players with just like a color, whether it's you know what they, like Kevin Muscat is like a navy blue, like obviously Victory, Millwall,
massively.
like
Rangers.
That's and obviously also red because he saw a lot of them, but but you know, like I can't envision him in a color other than a navy blue. You know, it's.
See, Caceres looks like he's playing on that left 10.
I mean, he's got his just. It's so easy to tell where Caceres is on the pitch, just because that beard stands out. Even from like this camera angle, that beard just stands out like a sore thumb.
Well, the A-Leagues, I saw posted a thing about all of Luke Branton's different haircuts today. He has had some shockers.
Yes.
Game 300 on the weekend.
Yeah.
Some of those bordered on cultural appropriation, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's like, you'd not get away with it nowadays.
Ooh.
But see how, like, since these subs have come on, all of a sudden there's a bit of an energy back in the game. And it's like, well, yeah, fresh legs.
It's almost it's almost like fresh legs work or something.
Yeah.
Paging Tony Gustafsson for the last 4 years.
Oh, cramp.
Love a bit of cramp.
Why do you need the trainer? Like,
by the time the trainer gets on, he'll be fine.
just can we get on with it?
I think we all want to go to bed.
Yeah, well, someone still has to render and upload a episode of the Dubcast.
Well, someone has made themselves responsible for that.
Well, no, sorry, that was a direct shot at Paletti because the files and editing notes were delayed, so I couldn't render it before we went live. So that's an extra half an hour onto my bedtime tonight.
Well, I'm sorry. I did my best. If my best isn't good enough, you're more than welcome to start hosting the Dubcast.
That hat in the front row, that was elite. Did anyone else catch that?
No.
Was old mate wearing an Akubra?
Let me do a rewind here.
Oh, sorry, Hunter, I was looking that up before. If we didn't manage to get in the top
There
two,
we go. There it is again.
the hat's back. The likelihood we would, so UAE and Qatar out of Group A are third and fourth, then Iraq and Oman in Group B, and then it's going to be like one of Indonesia, Bahrain, or China, right? any other games. So all of those are teams that like are just nervy games, right?
Yeah.
So you would not feel comfortable against any of those, really, especially with Australia's history.
Oh, we could play anybody. Play San Marino, it'd be a nervy game.
I've just gone back and had a look at the hat, Jacob. That is an elite hat.
That's great. It's a good look.
I think the facial hair just makes it work like 10 times better as well. Like it's just.
It reminds me of an absolute legend, and I'm sure every club has these sorts of people. But at Adelaide, back when I used to be up in the stands and not in the press box, there was always one guy that would sit near us. Absolute legend, Tony, who would wear an Akubra. He'd wear double denim every time. With like 35-degree weather, and he's wearing double denim. He has like a wiry old grey beards, and he just would sit there just espousing words of wisdom upon anybody who would listen, and it just was like so many fantastic little bits. The halftime heartbreaker. He absolutely loved the halftime heartbreaker. He'd always talk about that one. I love that. Just the characters that you meet at the football. Like, there's nothing better than that. I haven't seen him in a while.
That's not where I thought you were. That's not where I thought you were going, Jacob. I thought you were going to start waxing lyrical about your like 5 experiences with Redwig Steve.
He's a character as well. He's a character for sure. Legend as well. Spent so much money over the years to do what he's done. Travel home and away to watch Adelaide. That's crazy commitment.
It's actually crazy if you're a regular away tripper in the A-League.
Well,
I mean, the cost.
Yeah.
The cost is insane in and of itself, but I mean, to then put yourself through having to watch Adelaide every week. I mean,
well, I was thinking of this on Monday, sitting at my desk at work, and I was like, I'm doing Melbourne away this weekend, and I was like, have I just spent all this money and it's just like Adelaide just going to lose, and I'm going to be like, what a waste of a weekend. Like, what a awful thing. And it's like also contextualizing it in like Adelaide to Melbourne is like, that's a best case scenario for Adelaide fans for an away day.
Yeah.
And it's like, compare that to like in England or Europe, that's like a bad day. That's like a long trip. So yeah, it's like, it's just crazy the level of commitment from away fans in Australia. I really admire anyone who does an away day. Is top marks in my book, because it's when there's a lack of like public transport as well, right? There's like no rail links, or at least no good ones. Supporters coaches aren't a thing. Like, you've got to fly. It's an added cost. When you fly, airport curfews, you got to book a hotel room. Yeah, huge respect to anybody.
That's why I'm so keen for Western to build their stadium so Victory can actually have like a proper away day.
Yeah,
it's like reasonable.
Yeah,
it's just like an hour drive, and it's like, that's an away day. That's sick. Like, only like New South Wales fans get to do that a couple of times a year. Really. So.
Well, I mean, I was looking at making the trip to Melbourne the weekend just gone for Melbourne. In honor of Clutch, for an unnamed team's Champions League game, and it was literally the return flights just by themselves were $400.
Yeah, crazy.
And that was before, like, and then if I did it, then if I stayed the night, like including hotel, I was looking at like, I think it was somewhere between $450 and $500 plus the flights, and that was just to get a slightly cheaper flight. Plus, I'd have been missing out on work opportunities.
Yeah.
As well. So, like, you have to take that into account, depending on what industry you work in. So that's here comes Arzani
on
Martin Boyle
for all of 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, so good.
Number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that was literally. Yeah, I'd have been down like $500, $600 had I gone to go do that, and that's just to go from Sydney to Melbourne. Like that's insane. Like, and
it
that's,
annoys me
as you said,
much
Jacob, it's just a reality in this country.
how cheap it is to travel internationally in Europe.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Much.
It's incredible, and there's options, right? You can fly, you can take the train, you can take a coach, you can do you can do a road trip, like, and it's not a road trip through 18 hours of desert. It's like a road trip through like 18 hours of lovely little villages and towns, and it's like it's just such a completely different place. I really envy it. Like, how cool! I watch videos of like people doing like away days and stuff, and I'm like, I wish we could do that more often in Australia, because it's just such a cool aspect of football that we lose here because of the distances between the clubs.
We are 1 minute left in the game, still 2-0. Final little shout out to hit the subscribe button on your way out. We appreciate all your company tonight. I think we've added on about 40 subs on the day, I think, including some of the podcasts from today. So that's massive. We appreciate you all very much. But good win, it looks like, here from the Socceroos. So that makes our day even better. Clutch, you get another bingo spot. Shall we reveal? I think it's time.
Yeah.
We can do a little bit.
Just while you're revealing, are you going to actually show us a picture of the card, or are you just going to tell us?
I can hold it up to my camera. We'll see if that can work. Do you have Clutch? Did you send me the latest one? Oh, okay, I'll shed this one. This is fun. So we got the 5 that we've already talked about, and then there's Clutch fall asleep, Australia win. Will goes 5 minutes without talking. I don't know. The last 5 minutes, it might have been close.
Quite quiet. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Clutch, if you have your timer out, we'll see. And then Paletti talks about another sport, which I thought was going to be a lock.
Yeah. Wow. They haven't brought up hockey or anything like that.
Talked about, I think, added to the conversation about field hockey.
Maybe.
Well, to be fair, I didn't start that conversation.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair.
Like, I feel like that doesn't count because it was very much a leading question sort of vibe. Like, Jacob, you're my lawyer. If this live stream was going into a court of law, I would plead that was a leading question. Therefore, I can't be held responsible. Right?
It's not how evidence works. If it was a cross-examination, then yes, but no, that's not how something that's admitted into evidence would work.
No, I've done it again. I'm so sorry. I've ruined it right at the end. I'll try to get everyone back. Hold on. It's I thought I was being clever. I wasn't being
recording like
Here we go. We're back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're killing us again, Lockie. You're killing us.
Very
fair. This is almost a perfect way to end the live stream.
I'm sorry. To be fair, that time it was my fault. I'm going to try and hit this record button on Meld. It cancelled last time, but we'll see how we go. All right, full time in Australia's match against China. 2-0 is the final score. A good win for the Socceroos. It secures Jacob Stevens some very important points. We know that Japan drew with Saudi Arabia earlier in the night, which means we have a 3-point lead and goal difference on Saudi Arabia. So no matter what happens from here on out, the results in that final match will matter. It will determine something about qualification as long as Saudi Arabia win that game against Bahrain, which they should. So that's massive for them, but good for Australia to do what they could do in front of them and get 3 points here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, no massive issues. Pretty uneventful game for the most part, to be honest. Australia took the chance as well. There was some nice link-up play with players, but it was a case of didn't really just, throw it away. And I think that's all Australia needs to do now, right? Is this automatic qualification spot is in their hands, and they've just got to get those results and keep things going because, a 0-0 draw between Japan and Saudi Arabia isn't ideal, but you got the job done against China. You did what you needed to do. You got those 3 points. So yeah, I don't think there can be too many complaints about it. And knowing as well, and Christian will say, I've been saying this for months, but looking ahead to that Saudi Arabia game has always been, I think, part of it as being this is probably going to be the big match in our qualifications. So left nothing out there rather, and got the 3 points, got what needed to be done. There are things you can't control in football, are the results. There are things you can control, your own result, and they controlled what they needed to control, got the 3 points. So yeah, no real complaints, and good to be able to move on and not be thinking about oh geez, they've really let this one slip.
Paletti, 6 points for the window. It felt like that was always going to be par for the course, but it's like, well, we couldn't have done any better, right? So you have to be happy with it. Although anything less would have been pure disappointment. But for the first time in this whole third phase of qualification, it kind of went as it was supposed to, which is a relatively new thing, I guess, for Australia.
It is. I'm almost going to unintentionally complete Clutch's, or not, Clutch's bingo card, because I can't think of a better way to describe this, but I feel like 4 points was par, and I feel like 6 points we've hit a birdie on like a par 4. Like, I feel like we've done just a little bit better than what we're supposed to, but like it's also almost an expectation that you hit a birdie on a par 4 for at a lot of courses. So like I feel like we've
short par 4.
Yeah, short par 4.
Yeah, short par 4. Yes,
like
yes.
it.
That's the best way to put it. So yes, there you go, Clutch. I have mentioned another sport. It wasn't. I couldn't think of a better way to describe the putting this window into context.
Yeah.
Going back to the point you were just making before, I will say Bahrain. Graham Arnold did you a favour. You need to do us a favour now. Beat Saudi Arabia, please.
That would be great. Will Booth, any particular standouts for this game? Ryan Teague came in and made his debut as a starter, kind of ironically against China, the team that he was rumoured to be just having a little whisper in the ear from, but came in and looked very composed. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, Teague just another added to the ranks of definitely like a growing stock of midfielders, which is really good to see. Obviously, sad to not see Ballard. I think he deserves it as well, and Nizzy drops out. No other standouts really. I think Matt Ryan coming back in such form was impressive, and he's really started another conversation about that starting spot, and I think he's probably got it for the future. Which I'm sure we'll press into more as those windows come up and we see Gauchi playing a little bit more in League One and stuff as well. But no, just a really surprisingly quiet set of games for the Socceroos, where I think so many of the last period of us watching, we've just been thrown like had spanners thrown in the works and just chaos everywhere and things going wrong and things then pull it back somehow and just stay alive. But these games were just uneventful and calm and collected, and I think that's a really positive sign, leading into some really even more do or die games than these have been.
Yeah, absolutely. Big window coming up against Japan in Perth, of course, and then Saudi Arabia away from home. Jacob, other players in this game, Lewis Miller continued to really own that right wing back position. Stegenek came in at the heart of defence as well, which was a little change up. Jackson Irvine continues to impress, scored another goal. The one crucially Australian-made goal. Of course, we had the goalkeeper error as well. He continues to go from strength to strength. Yeah,
Jackson Irvine, almost sort of a non-negotiable at this point, I think, for this team, right? You've just got to have him in there. I mean, obviously his leadership and everything like that is fantastic, and you saw it at times tonight when the camera would cut to him. He was always giving out instructions and talking with players and making sure that everything was set up nicely. But just the fact that he can get on the end of balls, he puts it in the back of the net when he does. That's such an invaluable trait to have for any player, let alone your central midfielder. So, I think that at this point, he's such a crucial part of the team that, you can criticize his impact in terms of the general flow and tempo of the game as much as you want. But I think his end product is just the most important thing at this point. And the fact that he's consistently scoring goals now for the Socceroos, and he's always there. I mean, he's even doing it. It's St. Pauli he plays for, right? He's even doing it there, where he's had a bunch of goal contributions this season. He's been a really key part of what they've been looking to do. So yeah, I think he's definitely a non-negotiable. And yeah, Lewis Miller. I mean, we wax lyrical about him in the live stream, but what he does to be able to do that role for 90 minutes non-stop and just keep going, and then pick it up a couple of days later and do it again. It's tremendous. And there were a couple of times he was caught out in possession, which, it's a shame, but that's going to happen every now and again. But Chan couldn't capitalise on it, and I thought that he also had another very good game. So, I mean, there's a lot of really good signs there, right? That there isn't anybody you'd single out as being a complete liability or being able to even point to as a scapegoat. I know a lot of people have pointed their fingers at Jason Guerrier and some of the mistakes he's made, but even then, I don't think that they've been massively major. And the likes of Matt Ryan has been able to step up as well and sweep those balls up, and it's not caused any major issues. So no, pretty comprehensive window in general. And while it wasn't the most flashy football at times, it was pragmatic, it was workmanlike, and it got those 6 points. So yeah, I think everybody can move on with a lot of confidence from that and a lot of pride in their performances.
Paletti, any other particular standouts for you on an individual level in this one?
No, I don't really think there was. I think you sort of covered everything that really needed to be covered. I think, I can't think of anyone who stood out that hasn't already been mentioned. So yeah, as I said, just a very, very clinical performance. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more in the second half. I thought it was very, I don't know if boring is the right word, but I just feel like it lacked a certain bit of spark that the first half had. But I also think that comes down to the fact that Popovic waited until, the game was nearly gone before he actually started to make subs of any reasonable amount. I think if you make those subs in the 60th, 65th minute, things change a little bit. I mean, I was just sort of looking at Jackson Irvine here. It's just, I don't know if it was like humid, but it certainly looked like there were warmer conditions, just sort of based off the way his shirt sort of hanging off his body. So I think, had you
that's top tier, yeah.
had you just sort of had made substitutions a touch earlier, I think it might have been more excitement and the second half. But yeah, just with the way the game played out, I think it was just a pretty routine, standard second half that had it not been on a live stream, probably a good chance I might have dozed off.
Will, final question to you. At the start of this window, Tony Popovic made a number of controversial selections in, first of all, the squad, the 26-man squad that he was taking away in this window. Then we see Nishan Velupillay starting in the starting 11 in the first game against Indonesia, and that criticism extended to the matchday team. We kind of said throughout that yes, our understanding of those decisions is probably not perfect, and we definitely wouldn't have made them on the information that we had. But if the coach goes away and gets 6 points with those selections, then at the end of the window, as we are now, it's kind of hard to look back and have too much criticism for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we know what we get out of can get out of Nish on the national stage now, and I don't think his selection can be objected to, and a few more of these players in the squad as well. Obviously, that's just the approach that Popovic is taking, where he and we've said it a million times, but the players that he's familiar with, and he's looking for an instant addition into the squad. Somebody who knows the way, and Nish has just been a prime example of that, where it's worked, and his goal scoring form is better for the Socceroos than it is for Victory, his club side. So no, I don't think there can be any objections. You always feel hard done by some of the selections, and they always all feel baffling to us, but there's so many more things that go into it than just purely taking your 11 best players necessarily in that regard. So yeah, I think this gives Popper a bit of more credentials heading into the next selection period as well.
Very nice. All right, that'll do for this little mini reaction episode. We'll see you on Friday for the main pod. Now, if you hadn't figured that out, we were doing a little YouTube thing in there, just by the way.
You get to see the behind the scenes of our processes.
Little live recording. And I think if that's gone all smoothly, I don't have to edit it at all. I can just literally upload that little clip straight to YouTube, which is banging. I can do it straight away. But we will say goodbye to everyone on the live stream as well. It's quite late, so we'll let everyone get off to sleep, apart from Clutch, who's just starting their day.
They've just woken up.
Just getting moving, right? Getting having the coffee, getting the caffeine in, and getting on your way for the day. But we appreciate all the support. It's been a really good one in terms of numbers as well, so appreciate you hanging by. Maybe the whole Paramount Plus streaming thing is the extra little sugar you need to drop in, but we appreciate that as well. Will, Paletti, Jacob, thank you all for joining me today. It's been good fun. And yeah, back on the podcast duties Thursday night for Friday to come out and to break it down in a little more detail. But yeah, we'll see everyone then. Thank you again, and we'll catch you later.